Welcome, everybody. Renfrew Public Library Board meeting, our regular meeting. Today is Thursday, April the 24th. And Sarah, could you please do roll call?
Of course. Chair Tracy Stevens.
Present.
Donna Clark.
Present.
Haley Heaslip.
Present.
Sending over Zoom. Heather Dale.
Present.
Lauren Davidson. Present. Jane Donnelly. Present. Jason Legree.
Present.
Chair, we do have quorum.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. As we gather, we would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history, and we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Honoring the traditional territories of the Indigenous peoples is one of the 94 calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's report. To do this properly, we encourage everyone to learn more about the lands we call home, as we all have a role to play in reconciliation. Do we have anyone that needs to declare a conflict of interest this evening? None noted, Sarah? All right. We need a motion that the Renfrew Public Library Board approve the regular board meeting minutes of March the 17th. Could I have that first? Thank you, Donna. And second, Jane? And was there anything that we needed to look at or talk about? No? Okay, so all in favor? Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right, financial statement. So we have a motion, or we need a motion that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the March 2025 financial statement as presented.
Permission.
Thank you, Heather. And seconded, Donna, thank you. All right, so do I need to do these separately, Sarah?
So this will be 3.
Oh, 3 different ones. Okay, so, all right. So regarding the 2024 period 13 statement, the recommended action is that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the period 13 financial statement as presented. Okay, so I need to backtrack? Okay. All right, so we need to backtrack and vote on the March 2025 financial statement as presented that was attached in everyone's documents. So pardon me, forgive me for skipping that part. So all in favor of accepting that? Okay. All right. Thank you. So do I need to reread the period 13 motion? Yes, okay. So regarding the 2024 period 13 statement, the recommended action is that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the period 13 financial statement as presented. So any comments? Yes, no? No?
Move in second.
Yeah, I was approving
We have
it.
to move it. Thank you, Jason. Getting ahead of myself here. And seconded? Heather, thank you. Okay, now we can talk about it. All right. Okay, Heather, question.
I just didn't understand why the books, periodical and audiovisual, like, I know we spent money, but it said we didn't spend money. I don't understand where that is in the period 13. So it said we had 100% of that budget left, but it also said we actually spent 20. Yeah, I was just confused by that part.
Thanks to you, Chair. So I will have to find out from, I know it has to do with things changing accounts and what was put where, but I will need to follow up with Treasury to get an answer on that.
Kelly, is it possible that sometimes it's just the way that it's written on the chart, that it just lends itself to being a wee bit confusing?
No, I mean, there's definitely a reason. But I would have to go through the year's things just to see where it was allocated, if it was allocated to It shouldn't have been allocated to a special grant, but maybe it was. I'm not, I honestly can't, I don't know.
Okay, so
Sorry.
Jane, is it wonky? Like, as someone that knows what this says, is it
Well,
wonky? Am I
It's
weird?
possible it might be in amortized expenses now, because there was some discussion a couple years ago about that. About having books and periodicals, they should be amortized. So it's, and you see there's a line now here, amortization expense, equipment and facilities. So it might be in there.
Would it have been helpful to do the period 12 before the period 13, Kelly? Not really?
No, it probably would have been more helpful if you want. I can have the deputy treasurer attend the next meeting if there's a lot of questions, or send me the questions and then I will have the treasury answer them and I can bring it to the next meeting.
Excellent. Could you just explain amortized with respect to what Jane was saying?
No,
Okay, how about we ask Jane?
Okay, so.
Jane can explain it much better.
Well, I don't know if I can, but anyways, so kind of recommended accounting principles are if you have anything that has a long-term value, you don't just expense it all in 1 year, you amortize it over the course of whatever the life of the thing is. So in a few years ago, books were always just written off because
Purchased every year.
they're purchased every year, but there was some pushback from auditors about that. So now that we have a new CEO, they probably are amortizing them now, which means that it would be in amortized expense, equipment and facilities. That's my guess.
Excellent. Thank you. That's very helpful. Super. Okay, and thanks, Kelly. That would be great if we could have our questions sent to you, if there are any. All right, so can we vote on that? So all in favor of accepting the financial statement as presented as I read it? Yes. Okay, unanimous, Sarah, thank you. All right, so the 2024 period 12 draft statement, the recommended action that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the period 12 unaudited draft financial statement as presented. Can I have a mover, please? First, Jason. Jane, second, thank you. Any comments about that one?
So this is the,
Period 12, so would that be the December one?
12 draft.
So this is the unaudited, but
The
they sent
unaudited,
to the
yeah.
auditors before the auditors started moving things around.
Oh, right, okay.
And so when we
Yeah.
look at that, we did
Question
spend
online.
Kelly?
Yeah, thanks. Just to clarify as well, the period 13 is also unaudited. All of these numbers are unaudited until they go to the auditors for finalization.
Thank you for clarifying that. We're just going to take a minute while everyone's just perusing.
Okay.
Yeah. No other questions or queries for Kelly to take for us? No? Okay, none noted. All right, so can we vote on this then? Go ahead. All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Thank you. All right. We're good to go ahead then. Presentations and reports, library statistics, and they contain the March 2025 stats as well. Always look forward to this, Maggie.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Were there any questions about the stats?
None noted.
So it looks like we're pretty much even. We're up higher in our DVDs and TV series. Roles. Anything else pretty much seems to be- Yeah. What's it ready for that? I think that it's a bit down, but otherwise, I don't think that I'm gonna worry about there. I don't know if that has anything to do with, we held a couple of March break programs out at my center, so we wouldn't necessarily get those people through the door since they were there, but we would get those in our program numbers, so that's good.
Looks good.
But yeah, I don't see
It's
any
busy.
areas of concern, but if
Mhm.
anyone had any questions.
Heather just said that it's nice and busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the
Mhm.
numbers look up. They're all on the
They
same.
do.
Yeah.
I
There are
thought,
a lot of ebooks checked out,
There
Mhm.
are,
like
yeah, it's-
almost more, or almost equal to the number of fiction books checked out.
Physical books, yeah.
yeah.
So
And-
when we
and
look
it's
at the
hard
budget,
to-
it's
Mhm.
Yeah,
like you can justify all the ebook resources that we
Oh,
have
yeah.
yes.
because they are being used.
We are looking into trying to get, and we've mentioned this before, just how expensive Hoopla is. So we're trying to figure out how to still enable access to as many patrons as possible, but while remaining in budget, because that's an issue if, because right now everyone has their usage 5 per month. So if everyone actually did use the 5 per month, every single one of our patrons, that would be pretty much all of our book budget. So yeah, so as much as we encourage it, that's great. We're looking at trying to put an annual budget together for Hoopla so that we're not going over our resources budget.
So a good one to be monitoring.
Yeah, and Kelly did provide a more detailed report about how many people like how many individual patrons borrowed how much, and then we'll kind of decide if maybe we'll just send it 4 per day as opposed to another library. I know they have a daily cap, but we don't really want to do that to patrons because then what if you're always the last one to go to borrow? But anyway, yes, our e-resources are our ebooks and e-audiobooks are well borrowed.
I thought in all the categories, we were reasonably stable or higher.
Yeah.
Like it was made sense a little bit if it was off.
And we have new memberships.
Thank you. Do you want to just go ahead and jump right to the library activity report, which was also awesome to read?
So yes, we've hired our summer reading club coordinator. She's excited to start. She is starting a week later than what we had proposed in the initial advertisement for the position, but it's just due to she has other priorities for that first week. But that's fine because funding isn't funding through the government. We didn't get the amount we requested, so it evens out, so we're good.
Excellent.
First aid recertification is scheduled for May 27th. That is included in this package, but we completed our votes and we presented to council on Tuesday. So Madeline we decided to hire Madeline at an extra 4 hours per week for the seniors programming that we'll be announcing on Saturday once our contract were available to announce the name of it and everything. So we're excited for that, and she's already doing a great job. She's ordering supplies and everything, so that'll be fantastic. And that runs till March 2026. March break was amazing. Jana did awesome, and so did Madeline with her programming. Trying to think of what the most popular ones are. There's more information in the individual reports, but it was a great week. I've been doing about 2 invigilation services a week currently because it's exam period for a lot of university and college students. So that's fun, and that actually is, we were talking about how in the future for the Connection Center, how to raise revenue, that could be put towards the amount that we're allotting per month that we would like to raise. Because if they were writing their exam in the Connection Center, like I feel like that would technically be the use of that space. That is good. And strategic planning is underway, and the next meeting is in May. And just a shout out to Allison, because she also helped me with the withhold. So it was great to get her input, and she's amazing. So I feel better. Allison Pilon, she is the OLS designate for our strategic planning. Yeah, so weekly programs, if there's any questions about the children's activities, answer them. It's going well. Let's see. Oh my gosh, yes, the pause to read was a hit. Finn is so cute, the dog for March break is amazing. And the teddy bear tea party was a success, and the teddy bear sleepover, if anyone was watching our social media, they took over our social media for the night. So.
Cute. It was cute.
Oh, Madeline's, yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot. So, but the pet portrait painting was great, and Madeline was the teacher for that because she is an artist. So that is great to have another artist on staff.
We have two.
We have three.
We have three.
We have Donna, Emily, and Madeline. I can do a little stick figure.
We
but
are
I'm not
fortunate.
much of an artist. And the senior active living fair in Horton Cargill went well. Madeline was happy to attend those. The clubs are going well. Social media, we did, for our stats, we've changed it to report how many interactions we're having as opposed to just how many new follows and new likes for our page, because it takes a lot of time to do the social media posts, and we think that people would be interested to know that you have to answer messages and you have to answer comments and everything like that. So it does take a lot of time. And the TikTok video with Jana to promote the advertisement for our summer reading club coordinator, it was well viewed and everyone said it was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. She's really great at that stuff. And collections are going well. We've added more French books. Emily has been updating the OPAC stations where people can look up in the library or online, so that we have different carousels of what's new or themes for the month. So that is good. Any questions?
None noted. But thank you for that. Again, it's always a pleasure to go over those and look at it and read it. All right, moving right along, new business. The AHC and the CS Mari Library Initiatives recommended action that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the 2025 work plan, including initiatives from both the Arts, Heritage, and Culture Master Plan and the Community Support Multiculturalism and Anti-Racism Initiatives. Could I have someone first and second that, please? Jane? Jason, thank you very much. All right, and I know that everybody's had a chance, I'm assuming, to look at that. Any questions or thoughts? No, nothing? Everybody okay with all of that? Okay, excellent. Yeah, looks wonderful. Looking forward to this year. All right, so can we vote then? All in favor? Oh, sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Jane,
I did have one,
Okay.
sorry, I'm just looking at it now.
Okay,
So there was just one line in here that said, change the policy, making the current program meeting room only for library use policy will be completed by September. So does that mean that people that are using it now will have to pay rent? Because that really impacts volunteer groups. Just a question. For
Sorry,
example.
it's just a little bit hard to hear sometimes. Can you just repeat that, Jane?
Sure. In the create a makerspace within the public library, there's a thing saying change the policy, making the current program meeting room only for library use policy to be completed by September. Does that mean that users that are using it now are going to have to pay rent if they now want to use a library for a meeting room?
No, that just means that the library meeting room now will be devoted completely 100% to the library. It'll be a makerspace. We
Okay,
are renovating the front of where the connection center was. That will be
Right.
the new meeting room, and it'll be the same policy as before, where
Same policy,
nonprofits
okay.
get it free.
all right. All right, I just wanted to kind of clarify that, so thanks.
Yeah, good to clarify. All right, anybody have anything else? Okay, are we good to go ahead and vote? All right, all in favor? Unanimous. Great, thanks, everybody. All right, onboarding package review is our next item. The recommended action that the Renfrew Public Library Board review and provide input on the board onboarding package. Could I have someone first and second this in order to have a conversation, please? Jason? And yes, but don't we have to talk about that first?
No, you have to, you can request a defer now before.
Okay. So I guess I can request to defer this rather than go ahead with the motion first and then defer it. All right, so I am going to ask if everyone would be okay if we defer that until next meeting. Yes? All right, so do we have to vote on the deferral?
It just has to be unanimously agreed.
Okay, could we vote, please? All in favor? Thank you. All are in favor. Excellent. All right, so another one I did backwards today. All right, not a problem. We'll get there. All right, the next item is electing a vice chair to the Renfrew Public Library. The recommended action is that the Renfrew Public Library Board elect a vice chair for the remaining current term of the library board. Can I have someone first, please, and second? Jane and Jason? Sorry, Haley? Caught you at a corner of my eye there. Thank you.
Sorry, just confirm it was Jane and Jason.
Jane and Jason, yes, thank you. All right. So, Kelly, can you guide us, please, as to how this would work? Do we,
The best part would be if somebody wanted to volunteer themselves and put their name forward.
okay,
Be the vice chair, and then if that doesn't happen, then other members can nominate someone for vice chair.
all right. So do we need to go over the role of the vice chair first? Would that be wise? Okay, so basically it would be if I am not available, someone would sit in and cover this role in its capacity. Roles and responsibilities all included. So that's it in a nutshell, really. If I'm not available, someone would be willing to sit in for me. So is there anybody that is willing to do that? Okay, it's really exciting. It's really lovely. It's such a pleasure.
Is there a need for a formal vice chair? I mean, there was
Well-
only once that you weren't here, and I believe Jane
stepped
chaired
in.
the meeting.
Yes, and she was
Very
lovely
seamlessly,
to do
I
that.
would-
So
Yeah.
And I know.
I think we found the vice chair.
Well,
Jane was the chair for a while.
yes, true. Well, in the past, there has been, I think, an assumption, I'm not sure if this is correct, but that the past chair would be the vice chair. And that's not a situation that works right now. So we're having our meeting tonight, for example, because I'm not available next week. So because we don't have a vice chair and I didn't have anyone to ask, I just was querying what the procedure should be. And this is what we came to in our policies, that this is a role that should be filled at the beginning of every term. So here we are.
It is and also in our board bylaws.
Yes,
It is.
that's kind of what I meant. Thank you, Kelly. I said policy, I meant bylaws. Yes, yeah. And it really just says that it's just someone who covers for me. Sorry, Jane, you were going to say.
I was just going to say, I would like to nominate one of our new members,
What is-
just to fill, to step in.
You
So,
would?
Yes, I would. So, Haley or Lauren,
You're nominating Harry Lee or Lauren?
whoever would like to accept.
I recommend Haley. I don't know. I have so much going on. I don't feel able to take on anything further.
My only concern is that I do travel for work. So my concern would be that if both Tracy and I weren't available for those times. But I'm willing to do it, but I do travel a lot, specifically in like June for sure, and I'm away all of May.
Okay, so Kelly, how do we proceed? Could it remain, like, could we accept Haley's generous offer, or would it be best that we just change dates if I'm not available? Like, what would be easier on
question.
everyone?
Can we, back to Lauren's point, can we just, if you're not here, can we just not nominate somebody at that meeting, like the board, and say,
For
Jane's going to
today.
do it? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I'm assuming you're not going to be gone all the time.
No, I haven't missed one yet.
Yeah, so the once or
I
twice.
only recall once
Yeah.
Jane, and Jane chaired the meeting.
I
for
want
you.
to say that was before it was even.
It wasn't
Tracy,
even
was
me.
Tom.
It was
Really?
Tom, yeah.
Okay.
Would that,
I'm okay with that. I just know that in the past, we have had situations where unexpectedly a chair has had to leave for an extended amount of time. It just is a little bit of a safety net to have someone. Doesn't mean we can't, like, if Haley and Tracy are both away, then yeah, we can just change the date of the meeting. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of I think it's just more of a safety net to have someone elected as vice chair in the case that the chair is unavailable.
I'm happy to be put in that position as a written position, and then if that ever comes up, then we'll figure it out, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that we could schedule meetings around your travel
Yeah.
schedule if it were necessary.
Absolutely.
yeah, fair enough. Okay. Okay, thank you, Haley. All right. So I think we need to vote on this. Yeah, so all in favor of accepting Haley's gracious oh, I have to read it. All right. Thank you, Sarah. Here, where are we?
Fun police is here.
Or you can close this one off and then do this.
Okay. Okay, so let's
So they've agreed
Let's
to elect
just
someone.
vote on that we're agreed to do this. Okay, the all in favor that we agree to elect our vice chair tonight.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor. Okay, so now we can do a second motion that the Renfrew Public Library Board elect Haley Heaslip as vice chair for the remaining current term of the library board as per Renfrew Public Library Board bylaw BL3, terms of reference of the officers of the board. Heather, first, thank you. Donna, second, thank you very much. And all in favor. Excellent. Congratulations, Haley. You are now my vice chair, and I'm going to do my best not to be away. And I'm so grateful that you will jump in when needed. Thank you.
Fingers crossed, I'm not sick.
And something just of note for everybody, it's for the length of the term, and I believe the term has a year plus left. So I think the term, is that correct, Kelly? Like
Yeah, it's
about
all
half.
municipal council.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's the balance of this year and then one more. Give or take a month or two
Yeah,
or three.
it's like plus lame duck.
Yeah. Okay, excellent. So then we'll revisit it all then again. Okay, great. Thank you. I probably wasn't supposed to talk after that.
Oh, well.
Oh, okay. Thanks, everybody. All right. Next item, Volt. Can you read what that means? Maggie, Volt, please, because it's an interesting acronym, but I love it.
So it's a Valuing Ontario Libraries Toolkit.
Yes. So the recommended action is that the Renfrew Public Library receive the Renfrew Public Library's 23-24 social return on investment through the Valuing Ontario Libraries Toolkit as information. First,
Do we have to mention all of these? I'm asking.
Yep.
Oh,
in
we
order to
do.
talk
We
about it, we
sure
have to have a
do.
motion.
Sure do.
So can I have someone first, for first, please? Jason, thank you. Second, Haley, thank you. Thank you. So now we can discuss it. And I'm really glad because it's really interesting.
Oh, yes.
What you presented at council was so succinct and informative. It was
Well, thanks to Kelly for putting
exactly,
the
thanks.
effort together.
Yeah, thanks to Kelly for that, for sure.
So you're provided with the whole spreadsheet, but what we presented to council was a abbreviated view of what it is and what our values are. So the whole toolkit is designed to give a monetary value to things that there's no designated monetary value for. So it measured our education, our culture, our inclusion and well-being, our entertainment and leisure, our economic development, our civic engagement, and our space values for the library. And it's called your social return on investment. So we used all of our numbers. I used the 2023 annual survey of our public library annual survey, as well as some of our 2024 financial numbers to fill in this. And I went over it with Allison from OLS. And so what it ended up being was, I don't know if anyone other than Tracy and I and Jason watched the council meeting, but our vote, our SROI for education was valued at $327,240. And these are all values that we bring to the community. So in our culture, it was valued at over 78,000. Inclusion and well-being was valued at over 105,000. Entertainment and leisure was valued at $2,380,380. I had a hard time pronouncing those when I was in Canberra.
No, you did great.
Economic development at over 654,000. Civic engagement was over 30,000, and our space was valued at $197,953. So it all came down to that the overall economic benefit of the library was $3,776,131, which was about $452.94 per resident of Renfrew, based on our census numbers. And per household, it was about $941, with a total economic benefit for every hour that we're open to the public being $535.47. So every dollar invested in the library generates $6.80, or 680% social return on investment. So hopefully, it really does help our patrons know and our community know that while it's not just checking in and out books, there's a lot there for people, even if it's just a chair to sit in. There's value in that for someone in our community. And I did look at the comparators to other communities of the same general population size and what their social return on investment was, and we're all in a good range. So I believe that's, people can value us for what we're worth. Were there any questions at all? If there's anything about the specific calculations, I might have to write it down and talk to Allison about it, because like I said, I just did the numerical input for these spreadsheets.
Has this been done before?
It's
Like for the library? Yeah.
For us, no.
I didn't remember the acronym. I was like, I don't remember if this has been talked
It's been in my
about.
reports because
Okay.
I've been working on it slowly, but I would
No,
put it
fair.
off and work on
No,
something else
totally
again. But once I input the annual survey next week, we're going to update the numbers and see if our SROI changes. And it would change for the upwards, hopefully. Like, I don't think it would go down. So it's going to be part of, I had asked Kelly, I'm putting it as part of my annual work plan to work on this.
I didn't realize that VOLT, because we've been talking about that for a long time here as a group, I didn't realize it was social return on investment. But when I heard the numbers and all of these details, I personally found it really informative.
It's hard to explain what the library does because you don't make money.
Mhm.
People think if
Exactly.
you spend money, you need to make money.
Yeah.
But it's a lot different than money of what you're
Exactly.
making. It does make a huge difference.
And
And those are
it's-
massive numbers.
And what the library does is mostly intangible. So this is just an effort, based on the number of books that are
Yes.
shared around, to sort of put some dollar figures on them. And they really are high, and it really is very important. Community partner.
Is it possible we could share this like with the community? Because it'd be really worthwhile.
Well, so I don't think we share the actual toolkit with all.
No,
of
no,
the-
no,
but-
just
but
just
the
the pages.
infographic,
Pages are
Yes.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And
Yes.
that is something that I think we can even, like, we'd have it on our website. It would be part of our policy and plans page, and we would share that, but we just wanted the board to
Yeah.
receive it.
It just shows how valuable the library is.
Exactly,
I hope
Donna.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, well, that is the intention. That's why they created it,
Mhm.
to advocate for public libraries, so.
And could we get copies of that?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
It was, sorry, it was in the, like the council, package, but I will print and I can bring it to the next
Mhm. It was in our PowerPoint presentation that we made on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But definitely,
Yeah.
board members can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't, I think it was when at the town council meeting, was it not as?
Yeah, like
attachment?
the
Yeah, it was
slide
on
deck,
our
have to
but
like
that's-
describe
yeah.
and
Yeah,
look at
exactly,
that,
but
and
we,
it
so
doesn't
there's no
work.
reason why we can't do the
Yeah.
same.
So I'm just gonna
Correct?
write myself a reminder.
I can
to
take
bring
it off there and email it out too.
Well, I can also.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
on the town website.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
That's what I was
under
thinking.
the agenda on the calendar page on the website.
But we will make sure that,
Well, and there was just a couple updates, I think, that was needed to that.
Yeah.
So just the presentation itself, but we can send it out once that is.
yes,
Yeah, it was
definitely.
just a stat number, I think that was needed. for the thing.
Yeah, and that particular statement that was surrounding it
Yeah.
had to just be changed a little bit. The wording had to be changed. But definitely, and the rest are just, yeah, my scribble talking notes.
But I will share that tomorrow. I can send that out.
Oh, thanks so much, Maggie.
Oh,
All right,
I'm gonna put that on my phone.
so we need to vote on accepting this as information. So could we vote on that, everyone, please? All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Thank you. All right, the Renfrew Public Library 2024 Annual Report. The recommended action that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the 2024 Annual Report as presented. First. Jane, seconded. Thank you, Donna. All right.
So I met with Tracy this week and we did update a couple of statement issues, but if there was anything else, poor Donna had it before I had a typo in there, so she has a strike through. But the package that's on the website is the correct annual report. And
That's-
once approved, we can upload it to the website.
And it was just,
It's awesome.
yeah, just
It's a lot of
word
work.
order.
It's
Yeah,
really
good.
that-
I thought it was awesome too.
I printed it off on Monday and there was just one line. Maybe
Is
it's
it
not
the
It's
on
this-
CSRE? Is it that
Yeah.
part?
Yeah,
That's
Yes.
all? Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's what happened, because
Okay.
we did correct it. I corrected it, but Donna got the Monday package as well, so thanks, sorry,
Mhm.
Jane.
yeah.
But I did just remove that. My little, it was a note to self to include that in our message, but then I didn't.
It was just one of
Yeah,
your thinking
we are
notes.
still working on it, but it just wasn't part of this year's message.
It was excellent.
I was just gonna say that on the team page, maybe adding just a clarification that it's the 2024 team. Because my
Okay.
brain immediately was like, oh, there's people missing.
Yes.
Even though I know it's a report for that year, but sometimes as you're reading, you're just really excited about the library and you forget things.
Yeah, no, that's great, Haley, thank you. I will do that. On 2014.
Anybody else have any other comments? Yeah, it was great. Oh, we're good. So we vote on that? Yeah, all in favor of accepting this as presented? Great. Unanimous, thank you.
Sorry, I know we're moving on.
That's
And I
okay,
just-
Maggie.
The one thing in the report, and it was brought up at the council meeting, we had a question about it, was the number of library visits. And just to clarify that, like I'm sure everyone knows, if someone, like we have some people who come visit us 3 times a day. So this is not necessarily unique individuals that have come through, but if someone came 3 times a day, they're counted 3 times,
Mhm.
just so everyone knows that.
But if I went to the dollar store and 3 different times and bought 3 different things, I may have 3 different customers.
Exactly, like
to
we
be
did,
fair.
like we provided service 3
To-
yeah,
times.
3
To that
times.
patron
Yeah,
3 times a day.
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
All right. All right, the next one, our policy review on library bylaws. Am I correct? Am I in the right spot? Yes.
Jane, did you get those today?
Yes, I
You got those. Okay. Dawn, do you need a copy of those ones?
Oh, I have those as
Okay.
well. Thank you.
Are we good? Do we need another minute to get organized? We're good? All right, so the recommended action, that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the library bylaws as recommended in the attached document. First, please. Jane, thank you. Was that you, Heather?
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, was it you,
No,
Donna?
it was me.
It was you. Okay, it was Heather.
Jason was also like,
Yeah.
he was super excited.
Spreading the joy. I'm spreading the joy. All right, so time for a chat. Everybody's
I
had a
can
chat.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Kelly.
So I can just kind of briefly go through some of the edits that were done. So the first bylaw 1, statement of authority. Some of them were just additions that were the Ontario Library Service kind of guides this thing. So I did a comparison of our bylaws versus what was recommended. So some of them are just wordsmithing. There wasn't a lot in the statement of authority. I don't know if there's any question on that one. No.
No.
Okay, so the next one, composition of the board. Again, comes just some wordsmithing, change town to municipal council. That was about it, I think, for that one. So it was a really good, what I did find going through them, it's a really good time to read through them. So you kind of remember what's in there, which is helpful. Should probably be doing it more often. And it's, hopefully as we get on a review schedule, it'll help keep them all in everybody's minds. I know it definitely helped going back through some of them. Next one was the terms of reference of the officers of the board. I don't think there was any major changes. Let me just see here.
Didn't appear to.
Sorry.
There didn't appear to be.
No. There was a few strikeouts, a few just wordsmithing, meetings of the board. This is where I found, so the one thing I think the board may want to have a discussion on is there's a suggested agenda format by OLS. And what I found with this is, I know right now we kind of follow a council agenda, but this one kind of covers a lot more of what we do. So I thought that the board may want to consider, I mean, obviously don't have to, we can keep the agenda order that we have, but with this one, it tables our information package, which is the same every month. It also does a monitoring of the strat plan, which I think will be really handy going forward, where we kind of go, what we've been doing to move forward in the strategic plan. It includes the policy review and updates. It includes advocacy, and then does other business, which we could also call new business or whatever. But my feeling on it was that it kind of speaks to what we do a little bit more than the council agenda does. So I don't know what everybody's feelings is on that.
Anybody want to speak to that? No, I liked it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it a lot better. For that very reason, it speaks to what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
I know Sarah and Carolyn will cry because they'll have to change it in eScribe, but I'm thinking that yeah, for us, it may help us keep on track with some of the things that we talk about a lot, like the strategic plan and policy. So that was the meetings of the board.
Can I have,
Jane
can we
has a
just go
comment.
back to page 7 where it says quorum? It was changed from the presence of a majority to most of the board. Is that kind of a loosey-goosey?
They had changed it. I don't know why. I don't know if there was a reason, if something happened. Usually something happens that causes it. To me, it's the same thing. But
Yeah, it's majority over half.
No, it's taking out a majority and
Okay, but
changing it to
most,
most.
but isn't
Which most
is
sounds-
over half, isn't it?
I
Well,
think it
is
would
it-
be half or more, I would assume, but
But that's majority.
Yeah, I don't
It's-
understand
it's
the
a weird-
difference myself.
It's just
that
kind
was
of a,
just Yeah,
Lucy term, I thought, most, like,
It's more vague.
Yeah.
It's more vague.
yes.
Like it's
we can
Yeah.
keep it a majority of.
And then in item B in that same category, it says nothing in the foregoing shall prohibit the members in attendance for a regular meeting when no quorum is present. So it's almost like in one spot they undid it, but then they put it back here. Because if there isn't a quorum present, there isn't a meeting that can have any
You can
decisions
have a
made.
meeting. You can have a
You can
meeting.
have a
You
meeting,
can't
but it's
vote.
just a chit chat as a
decisions, yeah.
committee.
Well, you can bring what's decided to the next meeting for a vote. You just can't
Correct.
vote in that meeting. So you can have a meeting. You
That's
just
right,
can't
and that's what
vote.
And that's what item B says. So at the, above where it says most, it just puts it back to quorum in B. So to me, ultimately, it's still quorum.
Yeah,
I like the majority myself.
Yeah,
Just
I
seems
agree.
less.
I agree.
Yeah,
less-
it's more specific.
Yeah,
okay, I'll move that back to majority.
Which is then again, quorum, right? Majority means quorum. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Anything else?
Just 1 second. I just hit the wrong thing on this flipping laptop and it closed my thing. 1 second here. Sorry, I just got to reopen it. Okay. Oh, and it does speak to delegations of the board, which is good for us because we have in the past a couple of times had people just show up, sit at the table and chat. So this definitely formalizes it for us so that if there are external delegations, there is a process.
And it helps us prepare.
Pardon?
And it would help us prepare.
Yes. Then we go down to, bylaw 5 is a new one. This is the amendment. So this is how to amend your bylaws going forward. It's maybe made in response to legislation or when circumstances change. At a board meeting, any member can propose a review or an amendment of a clause within a bylaw, and all members of the library board will receive notice and draft of proposed changes prior to the next board meeting, at which a motion for amendment may be tabled. So that's a new bylaw that's been brought in. So that's all of them for this month.
Any questions, queries, thoughts, comments? No? We're all good? So did we just agree to go ahead with the OLS format for our agenda? Nobody's objecting to that?
I have one question on that.
All right,
One
Jane.
of the lines is report on board members' advocacy activities. Is that going to be something that's in every month? And
Yeah, it'll be on there. If nobody has anything to report, then you just don't, but yeah.
Okay. Is everybody all right with that? Yeah. So are we okay to go ahead and vote? All in favor? Oh, sorry.
No.
Sorry, I have to.
Because you're not.
Okay. Okay, so we have to do this in 2 steps. Okay. So this is all based on the fact that I said as presented.
Can we amend that to say as edited?
Could we say that,
Mhm.
Sarah?
I would recommend to add an amendment to say with the following changes and then, or with the following change of the majority and
Okay.
actually put that in there. I'm just pulling the information from that. I just need a second to put that together.
Okay, so we'll just wait for a minute. So Sarah's just typing up that what the amended one would be and what the changes would be. all this for that one little bit. You
Okay,
ready?
this is what I have captured and just confirm that this is what you wanted it to add. So the amendment would be that the motion adds with the following change in bylaw BL, meeting of the board, section 3 or C.3. The presence of a majority of most of the board is necessary for the transaction of business at the meeting. You wanted to
The
add,
presence of a majority, so we're really just changing it back to majority
I can bring that
from
up.
most. Correct?
Change back to,
Majority from most. Okay, so do I need a mover and a seconder or
we
just a
will need
vote?
to amend it, and then we'll amend it as amended.
Okay, so you just read it,
So
so I need to read it again?
we need a mover and seconder that the motion will add with the following change in bylaw BL for meeting of the board, sections C.3, to change back to the presence of majority of most.
May I have a mover and a seconder, please? Jason, thank you.
I don't.
And
Oh, Haley.
Haley, thank you. All in favor? Great. All right,
And then we'll read back the original motion with the amended part. to vote on.
all right. So I have to read the first part back? Okay, that the Renfrew Public Library Board accept the library bylaws as recommended in the attached document with the following change in bylaw BL4, meetings of the board, section C3, to change back to, in quotes, the presence of a majority of most? No, presence of a majority as amended. Okay, do we need a mover and a seconder for that?
Just
All
a
in
vote.
favor? Can we have a vote? Thank you. Thank you. All right, unanimous. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. All right. 2025 updated library budget. The recommended action that the Renfrew Public Library Board receive and approve the updated 2025 library budget. Over, please. First, thank you, Lauren. And seconded, Jane. Thank you. All right. Any comments?
So what happened at the council meeting?
Presentation was made and received.
And will they fund the library? We don't know.
That
There's
was
another
not
meeting
part of
next
that meeting. I don't know how that works. So can you say that again, please, Jason?
Sorry, it'll go into, unless Kelly wants to take it, but it will go into our budget negotiations now, so
It was,
that's kind of what we're doing now, is just the council will kind of hear where the budget numbers were and stuff, and hear what the library board had to say, and then we will consider it when we're doing the budget for the rest of the town.
so it was a presentation only.
Okay.
Good question, though.
So
So we do have other things to discuss in item H. But are there any other questions or comments regarding the budget as you see it in your attachment?
So this is the budget that was approved with the update.
Correct. Yeah, everything was the
As to
same except for that
salaries.
update. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, just to note, it was the staffing that was updated, staffing numbers.
Yeah. Just that one item
Okay.
that, yeah, we were all involved in that information sharing.
Okay.
Yes. So this is as it stands with that included. No other questions or comments about that? No? Okay, all in favor of accepting it? Okay, see unanimous. Thank you. All right. Do we have to do a motion to have you do the minutes for the closed section?
We could read the motion first.
Okay.
Open.
All right, so recommended action for the closed session that the Renfrew Public Library Board enter in a closed meeting under the Public Libraries Act, RSO 1990, Chapter P 44, Section 16(1) 4B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, more specifically to discuss the wages and breakdown of staff at RPL, the Renfrew Public Library. Can I have someone please? Heather, thank you first, and Haley seconded. Thank you very much. And we need to have a motion to invite Sarah to do the minutes during this session. Thank you, Lauren, and seconded. Jason, thank you very much.
So just to confirm what you are motioning to, so
Yes.
I
Yes,
put together an amendment that says that the motion be amended to add with deputy town clerk, recording secretary Wright remaining in the room to the original motion.
correct.
You both okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
And then vote on that.
Can we vote on that? All in favor? Okay, unanimous.
Okay, and then just to update the original motion. So original motion will read that the Renfrew Public Library Board with deputy town clerk, recording secretary Wright remaining in the room, enter into a closed meeting under the Public Libraries Act, RSO 1990, chapter page 4, section 16.1, bracket 4, bracket B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, more specifically to discuss the wages and breakdown of staff at RPL.
Correct.
And we vote on that.
So all in favor? Unanimous. And we are going into close at exactly 6 p.m. Are we?
Kelly and Haley, there is a separate Zoom link for the closed section, and I will be putting this Zoom into the closed screen. It'll just take me a minute to close this off. So we'll see you over there.